back when I was in house, I would run truck campaigns. Because if someone was smart enough to mention an 18-wheeler or a truck or anything like that, I did not care what happened at intake. I wanted the shot at. And so we aggressively bid on those. And there were months where it would spend a lot and not yield any case we could track back to it, right? But then all of a sudden there was a month where there was 2 of them, and both of them were very large cases. And so
that's the hard part.
How do you judge that on a month-to-month basis? It's very hard to. You need to judge it on a philosophical basis. Like, I believe that this is going to work over the long term, and judge it over that. But it's hard to do that when, as you said, you don't have like the enterprise budgets. But if you do have the right expectation in mind and are agreed upon on how this is going to be judged with the client, and that client stays to that, I still think it's a perfectly fine place to generate cases at a good profit.
Right.
One thing, the personal injury
at the agency level, it's harder to get the buy-in for that. I think that's where having like in-house and having the right marketing leader in a position to do that, who understands like, hey, this is going to spend a lot of money, but like $1 million 18-wheeler truck accident case will pay for everything and more. Right. So it's really hard when you're just like, all right, another month without leads.
Yeah.
Or like, we got a lead, and
I did a multi-million-dollar push into a market, and within 4 months, we pulled out an amazing case that was going to pay for a large majority of the marketing spend in that market, and that was one that we were jumping into, right? So we were trying to figure out, like, it has to work for us to sustain it long term, but you get that one win, and you go, okay, great. My marketing budget for the year is almost paid for with that one case. And that's the interesting bit of personal injury and motor vehicle accidents that you can't replicate in most industries, right? A sneaker's going to sell for the price and profitability that your sneakers sell for, period. And you have a perfect average. But the outliers in personal injury are always so crazy. And also in the personal injury space, I think firms, these law firm businesses, right? They got spoiled to great margin. Right. When we talk back in the day when I could get a 5-6x margin on a $1,500 cost per case, and then now even being able to get like a 4x margin on a $5,000 cost per case, depending on the setup of the law firm, like that's a ton of profitability, especially when you compare it to e-commerce and other areas that sometimes if they can get 1.5, they're doing good.
Yeah, on front end, cold audiences, 1.5 is amazing.
And then you got to look at the lifetime value thereafter, right? And once you have those measurements in place and the history in place, you're able to say, okay, yeah, this case cost me $5,000, but based off of my referral rates and the average cost per case of past client referrals, each one of those is actually worth 1.28 times more than what I got for that case.